my name is Sara, and this is a gentle yoga flow brought to you by Toivo, an initiative of Advocacy Unlimited. Before we dive in, I'd like to remind you that by watching this video, you are agreeing to take care of yourself, taking responsibility for your safety by only doing what it is that feels right for your body and leaving the rest. Let my voice be just a guide, a place to start. All right, so let's go ahead and dive right into our practice. We're going to come onto all fours. Go ahead and take a moment to warm up your wrists. You may even want to circle out or sit back a little bit as you circle out one wrist and then the other. You can even begin to come onto the hands a little bit more, rock front to back. There's really nothing to force. We ask a lot of the wrists in our yoga practice, and so it's really important to take the time to warm the wrists up properly. You can give a little side to side. And this is really nice if you've been on the computer or your phone for a long period of time. Even driving, you can do little circles in one direction and the other. And really just take the opportunity to listen to what the wrists are saying. How do they feel? Another option here is to sit back a little bit. You can turn the fingertips towards you. This is a little bit intense, so you don't have to press too hard to start. Maybe you're right up on fingertips, or you can begin to press down a little bit more. You can sit back, rock forward. Again, it's really about just opening the wrists nice and gentle. And then coming back to center, you can even take the backs of the hands with fingers pointed inward. To do this one at a time and just kind of move around there, stretching out the top of the wrist. And then you come to the other side. Something to keep in mind is that when we're doing our yoga practice, it's not so much about always doing the same thing on both sides for the same amount of time, right? It's about really listening to what we feel on one part of the body and really offering that part of the body what it needs. And sometimes that will look different one side from the other. All right, so go ahead and come back to center. And for a moment, feel your hands into the ground, spread the fingers wide, press the fingertips, press the knuckles, and your hips are just gently over your knees. You can play around with a wider stance if that feels okay. You can also play around with a wider stance in the hands. Listen to your shoulders. What are you feeling there? You can protect the shoulders a little bit by getting this external rotation in the upper arm bone. That arm crease starts to face forward, not to lock it out, a little micro bend there, but this rotation is just going to keep the shoulder nice and safe, especially as you move into more advanced moves in your yoga practice, even your down dogs. So take a moment here, see if you can rock into the left hand, left knee, other side, front to back, and then come into center. The neck is long. Can you start to draw the navel in towards the spine, and even more so than that, the sides of the body start to draw in like a corset cinching towards the spine. Now with the inhale, I want you to let your belly soften, and then with the exhale, let the navel draw in towards the spine, breathing out through the nose if you can. If not, just breathe in whatever way feels right. But inhale, the belly softens, and exhale, navel draws in, let out the breath. Let's just do this a few more times. Last one. Beautiful. Now with the inhale, drop the belly, curl the toes, lift the gaze. And exhale, round the spine, drop the head, release the feet, press the hands into the earth. Right, adjust the knees and the hands as you need to, and then I just want you to move with your own breath. You don't have to be in sync with me. I want you to just move in a way that feels natural, in a way that meets your body where it is. So maybe the movement's really small to start, and then you open up with each breath. There might be little extra movements in there, right? Little sways side to side. And maybe you let yourself move into fuller C shapes, looking over to one hip and then the other. And it may feel nice to even take the hands over to one side, right? Knees stay where they are. And you're just breathing into the side of the body as you find the movement to the other side. Our practice is about exploration. It's really not about obtaining any certain pose or looking a certain way. Let's just do that one more time each side. Breathe into the side of the body. This is about taking shapes, breathing a full deep breath into the body, drawing that, what we call in yoga, life force or prana. And then we listen to what the body has to say. We let the pose inform us. One more time, inhale, drop the belly, curl the toes, lift the gaze. And exhale, round the spine, drop the head, release the feet, press the hands into the earth, and just hold here for a second. Beautiful. Then slowly come back down. When you're ready, go ahead and begin to sit back to child. Now this pose might not be comfortable for you here. You can always stay in your tabletop, continue with a few more cat and cow. You can always adjust by putting a pillow underneath your sitting bones on top of your calves. You can stack two fists, or you can let the forehead begin to touch the ground. There might be a little sway here. Your knees might be together, they might be wide. A little rock, a little sway. And then we're gonna find a little flow. So come on up and drop the belly, curl the toes, lift the gaze. And exhale, sit all the way back to child. Inhale, come on up, cow. Drop the belly, curl the toes, lift the gaze. And exhale, sit it back. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful job. Walk your fingertips over to one side. Doesn't matter the side. Take a breath. And then come on over to the other side. Breathe into the side of the body. Beautiful. Come back to center. Come back up to your table. Now walk your hands out in front of you just a little bit more. Let your hips drop forward. Find that activation in the core. This is going to be something that's almost unique to you. You're really going to have to explore here this engagement of these deeper belly muscles, right? Like that corset drawing in. It's more than just drawing the navel into the spine. The sides of the body are drawing in. And breathe here, long neck. Little external rotation in those upper arm bones. Beautiful. And when you're ready, sit yourself all the way back. And when you're ready, with your inhale, we'll pull all the way forward. Come into that modified plank. And when you're ready, sit all the way back. Really strong core here. A few more. Inhale forward. Breathe. And sit it back. Beautiful. Just breathe in whatever way you can here. If you need a little bit more guidance, you can exhale as you pull forward, and you can inhale as you sit back. Beautiful. And go ahead and sink back to child. One more time, a little sway in the hips. Fingertips walk over to one side. Breathe into the side of the body. And then the other. Beautiful. Come back to center. Rise back up to table. You're going to come up onto tented fingertips. You're going to step your left foot forward. I want you to press your front foot down, your back knee down, and then pull them towards each other without actually moving them. And then start to rise on up into this modified runner's lunge. Your back foot can press into the mat, or you can tuck the toes, whatever feels right for you. Hand can rest on top of the thigh here. You can really cultivate balance by finding one spot in front of you to look at, or maybe you let the arms rise. Letting the fingertips reach up nice and tall. You can even play around, let the shoulders move towards the ears, maybe a little side to side movement. I know when I first started practicing yoga, and even still sometimes now, it's like I would feel stuck. Kind of come into a pose and feel stuck. And I always remember that this one teacher said, we just breathe and adjust. We breathe and adjust. And I have taken that with me on the mat and off the mat, right? When things get a little tricky, when we start to feel stuck, we breathe and adjust. One more breath here. Beautiful. A little balance challenge. Take the hands back behind you. You can just reach, right? The heart is going to press forward. The shoulder blades are moving behind the heart. Or you can clasp. If you're holding on for dear life, I want you to let go, right? You still have that activation in the legs. We're getting a little bit of work here, right? We're building a little heat, even though we're staying very gentle, slow, and mindful. Okay, breathe wherever you are, reaching or clasping. Beautiful. Let the arms release and let them rise back up. Deep breath in as you reach up a little higher. And exhale, hands come down. I want you to plant your right hand. Left arm reaches up and open. Take a deep breath. Let's do one more. Can you keep that activation in the legs? Front foot presses down and back, back knee presses down and forward, and go ahead and come on down. Let's take that leg back. Walk your hands out in front of you just a little bit. Press the hips forward. Find your modified plank. Take a deep breath. It may feel nice to let the hips drop a little forward towards the floor, and then really control. Pull yourself all the way back to child. A little sway in the hips. Again, if child doesn't feel right, stay in table. Take a couple cat and cows. You can make a whole practice out of that. Walk your fingertips over to one side. And then the other. Breathe wherever you are. And come back to center. And then rise back up to table. Come on to tented fingertips. You're already going to start to get that engagement, that corset action in the core. Step the leg through. Press the front foot down and back, back knee down and forward. Beautiful. So we got right knee forward. Hand can rest to the top of the thigh, or maybe the arms rise. Back toes can tuck or just released, press to the top of the mat. And you're just reaching up. Maybe you find a little movement, a little sway side to side. Sometimes I check in with my fingers. Am I kind of gripping in the hands? Can I relax the hands? Can you relax the jaw, the eyes? I love yoga because it teaches us how to move efficiently, right? Where can we work? Where can we relax? One more breath here. If you need more sensation, if you're not feeling much here, you can always widen your stance, right? That's your choice, how far forward or back you are. The wider the stance, more sensation. And then when you're ready, we'll take the hands down and back behind us. So maybe just reaching. Now notice, right? Sometimes the low ribs want to press forward. Here, we're going to keep them drawn in as the hands reach back. So the heart lifts up. And maybe you're clasping, maybe you're just reaching. Wherever you are, the legs are active. You have that strong, engaged core where you're working towards it, right? Take a deep breath. Let out any sighs that you're holding. That always feels nice. When you're ready, you can release, let the arms rise again. Reach up. Now, if you are not on a padded yoga mat, mine's quite padded, you can always put a blanket under your knee or even a pillow, right? Be gentle to your knees. All the joints we want to really take care of here so that we can all do yoga until we're 100. Right? Yoga for longevity. Beautiful. When you're ready, come on down. You're going to plant your left hand and we'll take that twist to the opposite side now. Take a deep breath in. Can you keep the activation in your legs? I want you to put your gaze wherever your neck feels the most long and strong and safe. And when you're ready, you'll slowly take the hand down and the leg will come back. Go ahead and come onto all fours and take your left leg back. I want you to just do a little circle in one direction and then the other, and then put a bend in the knee, and I want you to circle that out. If this doesn't feel good in all fours, you can always come onto your back and do the same movement with your leg on your back. It's not a big deal to really accommodate where you are, because when you do that, you build a really strong, stable foundation. Beautiful. Rather than start where maybe others are, come to the other side, extend back, a little circle out. Kind of like you're drawing a circle with your toes on the wall behind you. And then the other direction, stay strong in your upper body. And then a bend to the knee, and a little circle out. Reverse the direction. You're just breathing in a way that feels right. Beautiful. Come on down. We're going to come into a downward facing dog. Let me tuck my shirt in here. We're going to come into our first downward facing dog. So know that you can always stay in child. You can stay in your tabletop. If you're ready to come into down dog, you'll walk your hands out in front of you. Tuck your toes under. Press your fingertips, press your knuckles. A little external rotation in those upper arm bones, right? Like a rolling pin rolling out away from the midline of your body. Pull the hips up and back. You're going to play around with walking the feet towards you and back. You're going to find a nice spot that feels right for you. Right? Sometimes if you're too far forward, right, you'll get this rounding in the upper back. Okay. Usually, if it feels right to you and you can pull forward to plank. And wherever you are in plank is where you can be in your down dog. It's usually a good indicator of where you can be, but not necessary. Take what you need, feel into it. You can bend one knee and then the other. Beautiful. Sometimes I like to come onto my toes, do a little bounce. Okay. Beautiful. When you are ready, We're gonna slowly walk our feet towards our hands. We're gonna meet in a forward fold at the front of the mat. I want you to get there how you need to. So if you need to come all the way up and then take that forward fold, go ahead and do that. Get a little bend in your knees. I'm taking my feet a little bit wider. This makes room for the belly, but you can also bring the feet closer together, even front toe ball mounds touching. I want you to take what feels right, but wherever you are, the legs are active. Feet press into the ground and out here. Just try that out. And the hips are gonna pull up and back. And the upper body's flowing forward, and then you're gonna shake out the head. Shake the head no. Maybe roll out your jaw here, stick out your tongue. This is a nice place to release any sighs that you're holding. Let go of the day. Maybe the week, maybe the year. Right? Whatever you need. Beautiful. My friends, when you are ready, really press your feet into the ground. Let the arms come out wide, and you're gonna press to the feet and rise all the way up. Arms sweep to the sides and up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Go ahead and let your palms release towards the front of the room. We'll meet in Tadasana, mountain pose. Your feet can be hip distance apart. And again, for a moment, let's just play around. Let's really feel the earth underneath our feet. Press your feet down and out. Where do you feel that in your legs and maybe even into the belly, the buttocks? And then for a moment, I want you to just squeeze the thighs together as if you were squeezing a block in between them. Sitting up nice and tall. Beautiful. Okay, when you're ready, take your shoulders up to your ears, back and down. The crown of the head reach up nice and tall. Very nice. And take a moment to just notice how it feels to breathe in your body. We really jumped right into our practice, so maybe here you get a little clear on why it is you've arrived into this practice today. It's never too late to check in and get clear. Like to start again with each new breath. So why are you arriving into your yoga practice today? What is it that you hope for yourself? Whatever it is that you hope for yourself, I hope it for you too. Let's take a deep breath in together. Wonderful. Now, when you're ready, I want you to put a little bit of a bend in your knees, and we're just going to shake ourselves out for a second. All right, a little bend. Just letting your weight sink into your feet, into the heels. You can play around with shifting to the front and into the backs of the feet. Let's see if you can let the shoulders go, let the fingers go, the arms. And it doesn't have to be hard, right? You don't have to like move too quick or too hard, but you can really just let yourself find your own rhythm. I love doing this in a class because you can really see that people just have their own unique rhythm, their own relationship with their breath. Some people have like a slow, deep drop, and some people are moving a little quicker. Some people's feet come right off the ground, so take what you need here. we're just gonna breathe here for a few minutes, just letting the body kind of find this vibration. And this is really gonna anchor our feet to the ground, our sense of connection to the earth. This, right? Maybe you've heard people say grounding. We're grounding ourselves. This is connecting back with the earth and connecting back with what we feel in our own body, right? Sometimes it's easy to feel disconnected. And a simple practice like shaking it out can help us come back to the body. All right, we're getting blood moving through the body. And as we breathe, we're oxygenating the body. Giving the mind something to rest on, right? This movement, how we feel and how it feels to breathe. Okay, just a few more breaths. Sometimes all kinds of judgments can come up here about how we feel in our bodies or how we feel about our body. And so you're going to hold space for those thoughts and those feelings, but know that you're so much more than them. So much more. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to slow ourselves down and come back into Tadasana. And maybe the eyes close here. Leave them open if that doesn't feel safe. But just notice how you feel. And the practice is to let all sensations feel welcome. And we do the same with the thoughts. We're more than our thoughts, so we don't have to hold on too tightly to what arises in each moment. Maybe here you come back to that breathing that we did in all fours, where as you inhale, the belly softens and relaxes. And as you exhale, the belly draws in and up. Beautiful job. When you are ready, we're going to inhale, let the arms sweep out to the sides and up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful. Now, you can totally take on this balance challenge, but I also want you to support yourself, right? So maybe you go grab a chair or you have a wall near you, because we're going to shift our weight into our right leg and we're going to just let the left leg swing. So maybe the hand comes to the hip. It might feel better balance-wise to let the hand come out to the side. And you're just gonna let the legs swing. Be careful of anything around you. And just let the leg back and forth. This is gonna help us build strength in that grounded foot, that grounded ankle. Beautiful. Now we're gonna take it out to in. And you're only opening and crossing over as far as what feels right for you. You can find balance by really spreading the toes, really activating that glute, right, of that standing leg. And even your, the moving leg, there's this controlled movement that's happening. Okay, and when you're ready, go ahead and come back to center. Ooh, without fidgeting too much, just take a moment to notice how you feel in one leg compared to the other. Beautiful. When you're ready, we'll come to the other side again. We're gonna meet each side right where it is. So maybe you've had an injury in one ankle, and so now you need the support of the wall even though you didn't need it on the other side. Right. Can you let it be what it is without judgment and just really support yourself in the way that you would support, someone that you love? Set these safe conditions. We start to build this relationship back with our body, a trusting relationship. Okay. Ooh. Can you feel that in your ankle? And then cross over, right side and over, really controlled. Breathing. Hands are wherever you feel comfortable. Just a few more. See if you can keep the rest of the body up nice and tall. Okay. Come back to center. Let the hands come down. Take a moment, just notice how you feel. Now maybe this was super simple for you. When things become simple for us in our practice, sometimes the mind speeds up. And so always just come back to your breath, slow and steady breath. And let yourself take slow movement. Right? I love doing this because it's like saying that I don't have to produce or do anything to be enough, right? You're enough just the way that you are. So let yourself take that slow movement. Beautiful. One last standing move here. We're going to come into chair pose. So I want you to take your feet. There are a couple options. You can keep your feet about hip distance apart, or you can bring the feet closer together. This will be a little bit more of a balance challenge. You can also have the front toe ball mounds touching and your heels slightly apart. I want you to really listen to your body here. When you're ready, you're going to start to sit back as if you're sitting into a chair. You're going to keep that nice activation in the core. Right. And the arms, they can stay to the sides. They can come out to the sides, kind of like you're skiing. Right. Or the arms can begin to reach out in front of you. And for a little bit more work, the arms would start to reach towards the sky. Press your feet down and out. There's a little counteractive work that's happening in the glutes and in the back, right? While we're also letting ourselves kind of move the glutes kind of out and away. We're also giving a little bit of a tuck, so there's a little push and pull there, almost like you're working against yourself, but that's where we start to build work. Where we start to build heat, we start to build connection, where we can really move from just surviving into thriving. Take one more breath. And slowly start to stand on up. Beautiful job. Go ahead and let your arms come out wide. You might let one heel lift up. Just give yourself a moment of just a little freedom here after working. Right. Wonderful. Oh, can you soften the corners of your mouth a little bit? Just a few more breaths. Sometimes we can really come to the mat and kind of be in a very serious zone, and sometimes we come to the mat and it's just about being playful. What we learn through play is incredible. When you're ready, come back to center. We're going to inhale, arms rise. And exhale, forward fold. Bend those knees. Let the hips pull up and back. Maybe you bend one knee as you straighten the other. You can draw your forehead to the bent knee. The other side. Beautiful. When you're ready, you're going to slowly start to make your way back down onto all fours. You can get there however you need to. I'll invite you to take a couple rounds of cat and cow. Inhaling, dropping the belly, curling the toes, lifting the gaze. And exhale, round the spine, drop the head, release the feet, press the hands into the earth. And a few breaths, just like that. And just notice, how do you feel now compared to when you started? And there's nothing to judge. Right? Maybe you feel the same, that's okay. Maybe there's a little difference, that's okay too. Beautiful, one more. Lovely, when you're ready, just come up onto the knees, take your hands back behind you, reaching or clasping. Right? One's not better than the other, it's just about listening to your shoulders. Where are you? Can you draw those little ribs in? Can you lift the chest up? The top of the head, the crown of the head lifts up. One more breath. Let your shoulders drop away from the ears a little bit more. Very nice. When you're ready, release. I want you to round your spine, hug a beach ball. Inhale, open up nice and loud. Just a few like that. Inhale, open up. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Beautiful. Come on up. Take those shoulders back a few times. Take the hands down, cross your ankles, and we'll come on to our seat. Beautiful. Just a few moves here. We're going to take our right hand down, left arm reaches up and over, and then to the other side. Beautiful, and just flow here for a few rounds, up and over, up and over. Beautiful, come back up to center. Inhale, both arms rise, and exhale, take a twist to the left. Beautiful, left hand back behind you, right hand sits kind of outside that knee. And you're just sitting up nice and tall, breathing. You can let your gaze look wherever it feels comfortable. Nothing to force in the neck. Beautiful. Inhale, come back up to center. And exhale, twist it over to the other side. A few breaths. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands heart center. Let's go ahead and let our feet come out. We'll take our hands back behind us and we'll slowly lower ourselves down onto our backs. Go ahead and take a moment here. Let your knees sway from side to side. Beautiful. And when you're ready, we'll begin to just come into our final resting posture. The legs will straighten. Now, if you straighten out the legs and you're like, this does not feel good, keep the bend in the knees. If this doesn't feel good, you can always roll over onto one side. You can also put a pillow underneath your knees. Okay, I want you to just get comfortable here. Where can you relax? I'm gonna keep my knees bent, but I want you to take what feels right for you. And let yourself take a few full deep breaths, just breathing into the body, as if you're breathing into the toes. Beautiful. And then let your breath settle into a very natural, rhythmic flow. Let your toes relax, and fingers, and jaw, and eyes. And let your mind rest on the sound of your own breath. When it feels right, we'll slowly find little movements, fingers, toes, wrists, and ankles. And my friends, stay here as long as you'd like. No rush. I'll invite you to roll over to one side and let yourself rest heavy here. And maybe take a moment to come back to that intention that you set. And you just breathe there for a moment. And staying here as long as it feels right. And when you're ready, slowly beginning to press yourself up. And making your way back into an easy seated posture. We'll close out our time together by drawing our hands to heart center. And let's take a deep breath in together. And out. And I'll invite you to close with the sacred sound of Om. You're welcome to join in or just listen, whatever feels the best. Let's breathe in. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in, to give back to yourself for working so hard, how worthy you are of the benefits of this practice. I'll encourage you to take just a little time to sit with your intention, continue to notice how you feel, and maybe even reflect on what it means to pay respect to all of the teachers that have come before us and who have shared their wisdom in this ancient practice. Thank you again for joining. Feel free to check out Toivo's website, www.toivocenter.org, for more classes like this, yoga, writing workshops, art workshops, support groups, Beyond Anger and Violence for Women, Alternatives to Suicide, men's group, women's group. The list goes on and on. We're here, we're online, and we're eager to connect with you. Thank you.